Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, February 12th, 2019, almost 12:30 p.m., just after noon here. We are awaiting Chairman Powell and thought I would use this as an opportunity. I've been meaning to do this for some time, but give you a little bit of an update in terms of how we've adjusted our data stream a little bit, if nothing else, to get you thinking about your own dashboard and some of the things that we're doing in terms of, if it makes sense for you. So, let's do that. I would bring your attention to the chart that I posted in the blog post here rather than my face. So if you can kind of keep your eye on that, that might be helpful. So I'm going to take you through the current stream. We've got a number of different dashboards that we use throughout the day, but this is the primary stream that we're using during the RTH session. And one of the enhancements that we've made lately is that we've added some programming that will bring up a lot of the underlying indicators, a lot of the underlying triggers in that data up to the price charts. And I want to show you how we have done this. So again, you can think about maybe doing it at your end as well. This is the data stream that we share throughout the network, and we narrate to all day long. Many of you have been trading for years know it's often best to get as much into your price chart as possible without really making a mess out of things. Because visually it's easier to focus, it's easier to multitask in terms of you've got your charting and your order entry platform, and you marry those two without having to look around the entire dashboard to get a sense of where everything's at. So that's what we've done in essence. And what you see in terms of a lot of these dots, you see some large dots, you see some smaller dots, you see some lighter colored dots, and they all have meaning. They all have meaning for what we follow throughout the course of the day in terms of triggers, in terms of managing sequences, and perhaps most importantly, many times, knowing what not to do. And so what we have done is we've taken a lot of the underlying bias grid elements and the delta element that's become a foundation for a lot of what we do, as well as advanced declines, which we've added. We've incorporated all that into the price chart. So that we can use that, again, as a heads up. So what you see in essence is you see some larger dots which reflect changes in momentum and can trigger you into a short or long trade depending upon how the setup is. So we had this one here heading out of the initial balance and into the noon push today. And it's a good example in terms of seeing the triggers on both the 3-minute and the 1-minute. Now, in this case, we used the 1-minute trigger a little bit more so because we knew we had 15-minute support, 30-minute support, 60-minute support. The time of day was good, and everything was showing strong internally. So we used that 1 minute as a trigger to get into the sequence, which allowed us to get in a little bit earlier than one might have otherwise gotten into. For example, if you waited for the IB break, you would probably been in closer to 36 or so, but we were in at 32.5 based on that 1 minute trigger. And essentially what you see in that is you see a change in momentum, and you also see what look like 3-minute light green dots, essentially. And we've got some affectionate terms we use for those, which are, well, one of the terms is lollipops because it looks like a lollipop. In this case, it's an upside down lollipop. Crazy as it sounds, right? And we also refer to it in the room as sugar, if you get the jump there. So that allows us to talk and type shorthand as the charts are progressing. So what we basically had is we had 1 minute sugar, 1 minute energy in the context of a larger, higher time frame. And what you can see in that as well is the sustained momentum on that time frame once you made that cross up. So you've got momentum, if you're using moving averages or whatever, you've got the momentum cross, and then you've got a sustaining of momentum. You have increasing momentum, which is reflected by those dots, which is very visually appealing. It's kind of like some of the candlestick charts that are out there. Heiken Aschke, for example, is an example. Yet what we found is that this is very visually appealing because it negates the concept of air between where price and support is, which can often be misleading in terms of thinking that a move is really higher than it really has moved to. It can fill some of that gap, and it's a visually reminder that you've got some support there. If that price tries to come down into the lollipops or the cushions, if you will, then you know you've got support, and those are all buys. So it's something that we visually adjusted at this end. that is helping us along with everything else that we're doing. The other dots, the red dots, the cherries that we will call, red lollipops or cherries, is a great indication for us in terms of staying out of long trades, staying out of long extensions. So what that reflects is you've got decreasing momentum on that particular time frame, and that keeps one out of trying to press either too early or too late in the move, right? So as long as you have all that information with you visually, you're good to go. But until you get it, no, and when it changes, a great indicator for getting out of a sequence. This is not rocket science. This is not the only way to do it, obviously, and I imagine many of you have your own outstanding visual indicators. But I wanted to share with you what we've done here. We found that the addition of these elements, particularly the lollipops, the momentum indicators, has been very, very helpful, very, very useful for keeping us out of trades that we shouldn't be in. It's kept us from getting into trades too early, and it's kept us from staying in trades too long. 1,000 ways to do this, but I wanted to share that with you from this end as well. I hope you're all doing well. I haven't done much in the public realm lately because we've been focused on the room. We've got a great core group of traders that we're continuing to focus on, and you're certainly invited to take a peek. But in any event, I hope your trading is going very, very well. God bless you. Take care, and we'll try to be a little bit more out in the public realm from time to time going forward. Take care.